Kelly.
Good morning, y'all. What's going on? What's going on? Good morning. Let's get to it. So let's see what's going on. You guys remember last week? I've been a busy week. Tomorrow's my son's birthday, so most likely I'm not gonna be streaming after this. I'm gonna go get him a haircut. So been busy, man. So I moving forward though. Next moving forward next week, I believe I gotta check my schedule. Uh, I think starting Tuesday next week. I'm gonna be streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right? Because those are the days I really trade. I don't really trade much on Monday. Sometimes I look at the charts, but I don't really like trading on Monday and Fridays. I don't really like trading as well because it's the end of the week. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is my main day, and I want to stream those days. Because sometimes I trade and I don't send a signal in the chat. Like it's a gold trade and it went by so fast. But at least if you're on the live, you catch this. So Tuesday, I will be looking to trade. I mean Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be looking to stream on YouTube, so you guys could watch the live those 3 days. Sundays will be education days, so I'm gonna be streaming and I'm going to do training from like the basic, like what is a pip to what is a lot size, and I'm gonna do you know I'm not gonna do basically my entire course over. Just gonna do like solid information stuff for anyone, for beginners to advanced. And mainly what my training is going to be focused on after I got to a certain point is going to be confluences, right? Because I realized that even with the recorded videos I have, trainings I have on YouTube, is teach you about certain things. But what I want to show you guys on these live sessions is actual how to incorporate all of it together, right? So I definitely will be doing those trainings every Sunday. So same time as 9 o'clock, 9:30 um a.m. to 11. You know what I mean? If the time adjusts, I'll let you guys know. But it's gonna be the same time for every stream. So Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is trading. Sunday will be um training, like free trainings. Okay. So that's some really good news. So last week I mentioned this, like we was looking for the high to be broken here. I thought it was gonna happen over here. Price ended up went against it, hit a stop on the open on Sunday, right? But like I said, I don't trade Monday and stuff as off, really. And then yesterday was an extremely busy day. I didn't hit the charts, and I feel really bad because seeing that the market not break off. And regardless, even if I didn't look at the chart yesterday, last night I could have looked at the charts, and as I told you guys, once the price had broken close above there, I would have been entering, stop below it, and look what happened. Massive move. And this is on the 1 hour time frame, right? So this buy went up over 8,000, over 863 pips. That means your smallest lot size, like a 0.01, would have gave you at least $86.30. You know what I'm saying? So you put a 0.1, that would have give you $863. You put a standard, that would have give you 8,630 off this one trade. And all we wanted was just to break above that. Stop loss would be at this wick. So it would have been like this. And stop loss at the wick here, right below it. And that would be a trade. Right. And as you guys can see, this went crazy. This is a 2.6 RR. So I should have said alert over there and just waited, you know what I mean? And that was my bad as well. But nonetheless, it happened. It is what it is. There's always another move though. So let's get to it. Um, so it's been a busy summer. So my son is going back, he's gonna be starting school soon, like 2 weeks. So I don't know if you can hear them in the background. So he'll be going to first grade. So the mornings will be much quieter. I'll be more focused on trading. Won't be busy over here. Family vacation plans, going to doing stuff. So definitely, guys. I'll be locking in starting next week. So my schedule should be good. So look out for that. So US 30, hit an all time high. It's over here, and it's actually continuing to break that, and it's even higher now. So this is real interesting. This is real interesting. Okay, it's 9:40. So let's see what chart is looking at. Do we get any news? No really major news. All medium, low impact. Nothing crazy. Okay, that's good for us. I'm gonna just check this trend real quick. Okay, we definitely uptrend as we can see. I don't like that. I wish price pulled back a little bit more over here. What does US 30 look like? Oh man, this is a 5 minute broke. This was the 1 minute entry right here. Clean market band entry. I will be teaching the strategy as well too, in depth. The market took off, missed that. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. Let's go on these slower pairs, EU, these currency pairs. Let's see what the market is looking at. So market pulled to the structure, right? Zone to zone. I think we talked about that. I did say I was waiting for price to pull back. I wanted to pull back a little bit lower here and then go back up, but nonetheless, it still did that. But we sitting on that zone. The imbalance is right above here. 50% is about right here, so a little bit higher. I'm just eyeballing it, but I can tell, so it's around that area. But I would love to see price hit that area, push back. We might have some divergence here. I don't really trade that, but it's still a good indicator. So you might get see price push up here, then push back on here and start selling down. If that happens, we can catch that counter. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that as well. Right, so price is sitting on that supply demand area. So I'm just paying attention on what is it gonna do next, right? Like what's the next move? So that's that. Let's look at GU. GU on the other hand, Like we see, I talked about this I think last week. It broke the trend, can retested. Now it's it's most likely going up there, and I this is part of my training, guys. Right, so we know the market is downtrending. This is a high, lower high. I mean lower low, lower high, lower low. Right. This is our trend line. The red lines are trend line. Right, and I talked about the three things that confirm or reversal of a trend line. So if this is a downtrend, we're going down, right? So this is a downtrend line. We're going downwards, as you guys can see, right? At what point am I? Or at what point am I certain that the trend will be reversing to go into an uptrend, right? There's three things that must happen, and I talked about this in my trading videos and last week as well. First one, it must break the the current trend line. So it broke the uptrend. I mean, it broke the downtrend trend line. The next thing, it must break previous swing high. So the previous swing high is over here, right? It must break that. So, and the third thing, it retests 618 on the Fib retracement. That right there will be an entry area. Around that area, we start looking for entries for it to blast off to the upside, right? So those three things happen. And if I put the Fib from low here to high up here, look where price went to. You guys see it? Look at my Fib, 61.8%. That red line, look where it hit right there. And that's entry area to take off. Stop loss would be not all the way at the 100% down here, but right below the 76%. Because in between there's a hot zone. If price break out that 78.6%, to me the trade is invalid. Okay, it's a very solid thing that happened. Once again, missed that as well. This happened on this move happened. When did this happen? It was at 12 p.m. The 29th. When was the 29th? Um, 29th last month. Oh, it was a Wednesday. Yeah, I did not definitely not see that. But yeah, this market took off. So, pretty much. Oh, and how would I've entered here? Right? We talk about the break and retest entry. So we know this is the beginning of the new trend, right? We know this is the beginning of the new trend. So I don't need like the same confirmation for a new trend line is not. I don't need to enter. I just need a break out of that retest trend. So this pullback would be the retest trend to the 618. So I need a breakout of that previous high on it. Just a breakout, break and close. I don't need like a retest, just a break and close. So once this break and close, stop loss will be below here. And this will be the trade, and it goes up to here. So that'll be normally the trade and how we enter this market. Very simple. It's not, overcomplicated. The more you do it, the more you see it. Okay. So I'm looking where price is at right now. And it's similar to EU, right? It's a little lower high here, but it's similar. So I want to say price may do a little pullback here. So then, like it would be like a new kind of trendy move. But I just gotta wait and see. Yeah, I didn't like, as I mentioned, I didn't like the this look. I prefer a better pullback, even though it's on the 5 minute. So I'll wait on that as well. Right, this as well. Wait on that. So I'm just gonna wait. It's 9:46, still a little early. Market is, setting up. So I see that we at this area rejection over here, basically yeah, basically a zone area right here. I just want to see how price respond here. Like I said, I would like, because we got this break above this. It was an area of constant rejection, 1, 2, 3, right? So I would like to see price pull back here, and off this area, I'm buying long, right? So if it can reject off this, because there's another rejection area, if it can reject there, we can see it happen over here as well. If it can reject here and pull back to the structure, I'll definitely be looking for long position to trade up to the high up here. So uh, it's just a matter of waiting. If price is very volatile and decides to break out, you know what I mean? I would have to just readjust and see what's gonna happen. But keep an eye on that. Like I said, US 30 is at an all time high. Like right, the Dow Jones, that's what's good to invest, guys, because this thing is pushing. It's at an all time high. If I go on the weekly time frame, you'll see it. It's the highest ever been. Mm-hmm. There's no news coming out. That's crazy. 9:45. That already happened. 10 o'clock. We have some medium impact, but nothing crazy. Trump speak today at 4:30 p.m. Uh, this guy tweet or speak. He says some stupid shit that affect the market every time. Um, it's potentially I can. I'm seeing if I can potentially get a actual reversal on here. You see a pullback here. US 30 as well, dropping down here, which is looking okay. Well, it's okay. It's, if yeah, if US 30 pulling around this area, possible trade buy to the upside. This is good though. Projection. EU. This is the 1 minute time frame. I use MACD sometimes, or RSI. Either one is fine, like a divergence thing. So under here, we have this low point here. If we get a possible break and retracement out here, we could look to take a simple short, probably like 20 pip TP or 40 pip, something simple. I'm gonna see how it would look. We traded down to this level here. Yeah, it's about 50 pip TP. That's solid. Something like that. 1 to 2 RR. I gotta see how price react here though. Nice projection off this. Failed to break this area, but it wicked below it. If we do get the break above here, I want to take this long position. I'm probably gonna pull the trigger on this long position. I'm gonna risk half less. I'm gonna risk 0.5% of my account. It's like 1%. It's a 1 minute close, guys. Did it just close? Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Just want to see how this last candle react, but just reject back there. Yeah, I'm gonna pull a trigger on this, guys. I'm going in 0.5% with my account. I'm in. This 1 minute time frame is a scalp. Okay. 1 minute time frame scalp. This is a 1 to 2 RR. It's a 1 minute scalp, y'all. It's a quick in and out. Okay. I'm in this trade, guys. 1 minute scalp, US30. TP1 is 1 to 1 RR. Overall trade is 1 to 2, as you guys can see. This strategy give us the stop loss is where the green shades start. So, you know what I mean? Put your stop loss in. If the price come back there, this trade is invalid. I'm risking less than 1% on my account, right? Keeping it simple because I didn't trade all week. This is literally my first trade. And we're scalping, so I'm not, you guys know I'm more for intraday swing type of guy. So, you know what I mean? Keeping it simple. But 0.5% is still solid. You know what I'm saying? So market is moving, guys. Market is moving. Oh yeah, we almost even at TP1. Look at that. We're currently up 80 points. So that's solid. Solid, guys. This is gold. I don't just on the 5 minute, I don't like how gold is set up. Even on the 1 minute, it looks good. So I'm not gonna take that. I'm gonna stay away from gold. You know what I'm saying? You need some good profit. You can reduce your risk if you want to. You stop at entry if you want to. It's all manage your trade as you see fit, guys. You know what I mean? We're blue. We're in good profit. No drawdown. You know what I mean? Good scalp. Using my strategy, market bandit. I will be teaching a strategy, like I said, every Sunday moving forward. Not this Sunday, the Sunday after. So this Tuesday, next week Tuesday is when I will also stream live trading. So it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday live trading, and then that following Sunday is going to be when I begin the teaching portion. So every Sunday is going to be educational. I'm going to be teaching like what is a pip, what is a lot size, support resistance, supply and demand, trend lines, and then once I get through that, I'm not going to really teach like divergence, those type of stuff, just simple basics. And once I get through that, guys, I'll be teaching you guys confluences. Now, how to put all of that together, which is very important. TP1 hit, guys, or it's like hit, TP1 hit. TP1 hit, guys. We made some money. If you made some money, drop some money bags. Um, in the chat, guys, TP1 hit. Definitely made some profit. Let's go. First trade of the week. And this is what we do, man. You guys could watch your previous lives. We be hitting these. You know what I'm saying? I don't force any trades. We keep it simple. You know what I mean? I tell you how much I'm risking. I don't, I don't try to act you know, like these fake IG gurus. You know what I'm saying? So we 1 to 1 RR. That means stop loss go to entry. That's my rule. We 1 to 1 RR. Stop loss at entry, man. You know what I mean? If you choose to take partial at this level, that's on you. But we're protecting our account. We are protecting our account. If you choose not to move your stop loss, once again, on you, but stop loss at entry for me. Whether you decide to take partials or not, it's up to you. Whether you decide to close out, it's up to you. The stop loss should be at break even, at bare minimum. Let's go. So we can get this 1 to 2 RR. I don't even have my TP in because this is all-time high, guys. I don't have my TP in at all. So if it keeps shooting, it keeps shooting. You know what I'm saying? But we're above TP1. You want to take partials. Like I said, it's all up to you. Manage as you see fit. You feel me? So I'm gonna just show you guys that this is all-time high. Like, all-time high. I can go back till whatever. This is on the weekly time frame. This is all time high. You feel what I'm saying? All time high. Look at this. It's all time high. Saying I think we're gonna hit 60K very soon, probably like March next year at this rate. Um, and that's another thing too. You was 30 last week. This was Friday. See, I didn't trade on Friday, and this was Monday. Oh my gosh! Look at all this buying opportunity I missed out because I didn't trade. Been busy, man. And then preparing for my so like I said, my son's birthday tomorrow. You know, my wife had to reach out to like the classmates' mom, invite everybody stuff. So she's been a little busy. Gotta go get my hair cut after this. Um, so hopefully, like I said, after this week, it should be solid. I've traded 3 times a week live, and Sundays educational. So be ready for that, y'all. Yeah, man, we need some good profit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Market is moving. Let's go. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Stop at break even. Right. So, see, I was gonna take this buy on the 1 minute. But look, this is the buy right here on the 1 minute. Right. I just didn't like how it looks on the 5 minute. I wanted it to touch this orange on the 5 minute, reject, and then it would be a solid buy. I'm very like picky with certain setups, as anyone should be. You know. So I'm still okay staying out of gold right now. Feel me? But yeah, man. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Mhm. Sorry, guys. I was looking at something. Okay. Back. Okay. Looking good. Let's see the other stuff we're looking like. In the meantime, sorry, y'all. I was just doing something real quick. Also, I added my I added the. Okay. Yeah, added my what you call it, Telegram signal link. Even that, guys, I'm gonna be sending signals way more often. I just, like I said, been busy, so just give me, you know, what I mean, those that been rocking me for a while know what I'm talking about. So just been busy. Oh yeah, we was looking at EU. Okay, they're still respecting that trend right there on the 15, 1 hour. Price is still sitting around that area. Uh, so let's see. Like I said, I do expect price this, especially this one for GE, to at least hit this high, and I go above this level here. So that's enough. Let me see on the daily time frame. Yeah, man. Market overall bullish, right? Currently, it's been sideways here on the daily. It's been it's been sideways, right? Just like over there. Yeah, it's been sideways, but from what this is giving us, it's looking like it's ready to pop to the upside. As I mentioned before, if I put the fifth from this low point, wick, it's a high right over here where my mouse is at, wick, right? Hit that 618. The target one, TP1, would be that 0%, that black line. And then the negative 27 would be target two, negative 618 would be target three, and for a swing, right? We kind of missed the entry over here, which we missed out a lot of pips, but price is currently here. If it pull back a little bit, that'd be beautiful. If it doesn't, what I'm essentially looking for is some sort of solid entry to take it to this negative 27%. So if I go now in the 1 hour time frame, let me see the 4 hour. I'm just using this example, not getting into a trade, guys. Right? If I get something solid, let's say stop is here, we trade up to there, that green line, that's still 200 pips. So I want you guys to understand, right? We're risking 54. We would be risking 54 pips to make 200. 1 to 3.7 RR. So I'm just looking for. I don't like how, like, let me give you an example. So we have this high point here, and then this other high up here, and then look, price is back to this level, right? It's a common area, and we already saw why am I tongue tied? I already saw rejected there. Now, granted, this low is lower than this. This is a higher low, right? So the market didn't switch in terms of trend, right? So for me, at least, to be honest, this breakout of this high, I want to see happen. If we stretch this across, let's see the past data on that. What's in that level area? So we can see that price currently is in this level here. So we see our price currently reject off this area here, reject off this area here, and currently reject here. So two and two together. Like I said, this is a low, this is a low, higher low, higher low. You guys can see it, right? So if I could get some sort of breakout, quick little retest here, I can look to pop that to the next area. So I can actually have that preset, and stop will be like right here, 50, like about 50 pips. But I'm looking to risk 50 to go up to here. It's negative 27 here. So I'm cool on that, that's a 1 to 3, so I can just like actually just make a solid 1 to 3 like right here. Like that, based on entry and stuff. So that is how I enter this market, guys. I'm essentially waiting. It's the same thing with gold, as I showed in the previous, like just wait for that breakout of that common rejection area. And notice how I look at the structure and I looked in the past and see like what happened there, right? But overall, I would, obviously everybody, since we missed the entry down here, I would love to see price pull back around that area, do something solid. But I gotta, because it could reject off this area, right? We noticed, like, once again, price come over here, nice rejection, what? Sell. Even here, rejection, push down. Over here, rejection, push down. So can we get a rejection here and it push down? Absolutely. So it's a matter of just waiting and see what happened. Oh no, we're not buying gold. Actually, let me look at gold right now. Actually, 1 second. Let me kind of clean this chart up. Move all these marks. I'm not in gold. I'm in US 30. I didn't like how gold looked on the 5 minute. It didn't like the confluence. Can I use that? Say that. But it didn't line up. The 1 minute and 5 minute didn't pair well together, right? So I didn't. I'm not in that buy. I'm very picky with certain things. I guess it comes with repetition and seeing outcomes of certain things, and that shit already took off too. Damn. But we didn't buy gold. But so basically, I'm gonna show you guys. So gold on the 1 minute is here. It's a solid buy on the 1 minute. This is clean. This is just like US 30. Using my strategy. It's very simple, right? And it tells you where my stop should be right there. It's very simple. It's a clean risk, and look at the gains. Crazy, right? And I just missed that. I know I missed it. On the 5 minute though, the reason I didn't like it, if price doesn't pull back to that orange line, right, and meet that confluence there on the 5 minute, which would be the purple line on the 1 minute, based on the setup, right? Because on the we see the blue came under the orange, but it never touched the purple, and that's important for me. It needs to touch the purple before the switch over happened back again, and that didn't happen. And on the 5 minute, it also didn't line up. That was my reasoning not to take the setup. Now there is volume and momentum clearly in this trade, and it took off. But like I said, from my experience using this strategy, right, it doesn't work out as much in your favor, right, than you think. So that's just me personally. So I'll give an example. Let's see if I can find an example. It's, I gotta see if I can find an example though. But yeah, I right now I don't think I can find one. But okay, this would be kind of a clean example. So we're talking about like the blue and the orange. Even though it give us like this buy kind of setup around the 5 minute, it usually pull back on you. You're gonna get hit stop loss. You know what I'm saying? It will pull back to that purple, right? And at that level is where now, and that purple on the 5 minute is probably the orange on the, look at that, it's around the orange area also on the 15, which is also near the purple, right? On the 15, there's some sort of confluence based on the time frame, but that would be now a perfect time for me to now look for buys. You know what I mean? Like I said, today works out. It obviously is buying. The momentum is strong. Look at that. We just missed that. That's crazy. I missed out on so much. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Right. But it just didn't line up in my 5 minutes, so I wasn't comfortable taking it. Price is consolidating here. If we can get a breakout of just upside here, it's working on both sides. Like I said, I have my TP open. Stop as I break even. You're going to take partials because my market is sitting here. I do recommend that, but you don't have to. Choice is yours. Um, if price break out here, I think it's going to shoot, which is going to be good for us. If we keep pushing. Like I said, past there's no past data to say price is going to reject off a certain point because this is all time high. But there is a way to identify that. So that way would be starting from this high, right, to the pullback low, and the next area of structure. We already hit it, which is our TP1, which would be the 161.8%, and you can see how price play off that area, and it's not rejecting, right? So maybe if I look on the 5 minute, I can do it that way. No, still give me the same area. Um, so my next thing would be looking from this high up here. I don't know if price is going to pull back or not, but if it pulled back, like say off this structure here, which is this previous high, the next area would be a TP2. So yeah, pretty solid. I'm saying if price pulled back down to the structure here as a retracement, the next area predicted for price to reject from would be up here using the fib retracement. What is this? Gold really took off though. It's crazy. That's a massive like trade. Just like over here. God damn. 341 pips. That's a lot. Okay, let's go back there. Um, about GU, right? Something about here. So just keeping an eye on this as well. And look at that. That's another thing too. I draw the structure area. Gold broke out of it right there and just took off. I wanted it to pull back down here, but hey, market had other plans. Do this for now. Okay. I just saw your thing too. You said, "What about gold?" I was not looking at it. This took off. Just saw your message. Um, yeah, gold took off, but it'll be another day. Is the gold now ready to like go back to the all time high? This is important because gold been, as you guys can see, gold been pulling back, and we at a certain area, we catch a solid trade and we could swing this long term. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at the trend line over here. Yeah, gold breaking out of this. Yeah, this is looking scary in a good way. The market, as you can see on the 4 hour, went straight up. I'm hoping we could get some sort of tracement. And we can buy gold. That's gonna be great for us. We can swing it. Okay, this is gonna be really good for us, guys. Yeah. If we can get a swing on this, I just want to show you guys something. So this is the 4 hour time frame. So I told you guys I'm off a swing, right? So let's say price pull back for gold for us, right? Which is most likely what happened. It's called a crossover. So what I mean by crossover, let's actually go on a small time frame. So give an example of a crossover. So this is a crossover. So price, as you see, pull below the orange. I mean the purple line. Eventually pulls back, right? That's gonna be your first like area. Confluence, all the lines are crossing over. And the minute we start getting the blue, the orange, purple in the proper order, perfect sell for swing, right? So your stop could be here and you just swing it all the way down to the next zone, next level, whatever, right? Um, I know it looks a little confusing, all these lines. I go back to the 4 hour, right? What's happening is we have price breaking over that purple. This is expected to shoot up. That's okay. Can even go a little bit further, but it pulls back, and the blue, the orange follow. It pulls back and it hits the purple as well, and it's a beautiful confluence area, right? And at that point, we can catch a major swing, guys. A major swing. So this is very exciting. I'm gonna position trade on that for sure, right? If we can get something over here, whatever, wherever it's at, stop wherever. Stop gonna be a little bit high, of course. I mean, it's swing, so you don't have to risk high. And we can hold, just hold. This would be really, really good. We keep an eye on that for sure. For sure, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. This is a good example. over here. Price come above that purple, right? Goes up, goes up, goes up. Eventually, it comes back down, right? It comes back down. That's a good area. Start looking for entries. You can put your stop at that low, whatever. Price will never hit that stop. And look at that. Eventually, it's played off that area. And we just hold them, hold them, hold them. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? This is good news. Seeing that that's happening on a higher time frame. I'll probably most likely take a 4-hour entry if price pull back and do this thing. That would be really nice. Okay, ease percent off. Yeah, everything that's going against the dollar is buying. Wow. Okay, this is like I said. If this break above here, I'll probably take the buy for the fact we are having higher lows. Um, this it wouldn't be like a head and shoulder thing that became invalid. Um, and it's be breaking that high, right? We need a price that's above that, and that's a key rejection area. We got price breaking through that zone. I will take a buy on GU. That happened. Stop below, and we traded like I mentioned, 1 to 3 up here. So kind of waiting on that. That'll probably be my last starter for the day. What I'm gonna do is set alert. I'm gonna set alert so I don't forget it. Knowing me, I would. US 30. I mean, gold. We kind of just. I mean, just we missed that. That's crazy. Missed the bag. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like these black lines I have is basically a zone to zone type thing. So pretty much waiting, 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 waiting. But gold, we can potentially have a massive buy opportunity. I know most of you guys probably don't swing trade, but I'm telling you, it's probably a trade just do small, very small risk, but you holding the gains will be something crazy. You started still sending. I'm waiting for it to hit that TV2. Still fluctuating. Price need to break above this. Breaking close above it. In the meantime, because the market is slowing down a little bit. In the meantime, you guys have any question? Feel free to ask away. Checking the chat. You guys have any questions? You know what I mean? Perfect time to ask. Any questions? Throw it in chat. And just to, as a recap as well, I'm waiting for a buy opportunity on GU. I need price breaking above this level, this structure area. So my stop would be here, about 45 pips, 50 pips, sorry, 50 pips, and TP Do a 1 to 3. TPB right there. I'll take that if I get a break and close. The candle break and close above, right? I want a 1 hour candle close, 1 hour candle close above. So you guys can have that as a, if I'm not on the charts or I don't send anything in the signal chat, you have it already. I don't want to miss this one like I would miss the gold setup. Besides that, we're in US 30 still in profit, stands around that area. I mentioned that price, I wouldn't mind if price pulled back to this level and TP2 would be there, but based on the zone thing we were talking about. Even if that's the furthest pullback, it shows that the next level of resistance would be right here. It's the same way, guys. If you want to figure it out, so you can do a high to the low on the pullback, right? So 161.8%. That's the next area of resistance in terms of you trying to figure out like an all-time high or low area, right? And you can see how it hit there, literally sit there. So I did the same for this here, and it's showing it up here as well, which is our TP2 anyway. Um, if you guys want my fib information too, I can actually give y'all that. I remember someone asked a while ago. I didn't get a chance. Put it up. Here's the settings. What is that? Oh, okay. Here's the numbers I use. 0, of course, with extended 0, 0.618, that's red. 1, 0.5, that's the 50%. 0.786, that's these two red are like my hot zone, as you can see up here. The 1.68, that's like talking about the extended area. Negative 27, which is negative 0.27, negative 0.618. That's also my TP areas, right? That's the screenshot that, right? So it's like this. So imagine a chart pulling back, right? My negative 61.8% to 78.6%. That's the hot zone. I'm expecting a reversal out of that to go to first TP will be 0%. Second TP will be negative 27%, and then negative 61.8%, right? So something like that. You guys see our price constantly rejecting off that area, which was the zone. If we get a break over that, we should get a push to the upside. Um, what else I use? I know you guys see this. It's like MACD cross, so I don't really use it. I really don't. I don't even know what I have it on my chart. But you can use like RSI, whatever. It's just to help with you want to look at divergence. I don't really use divergence at all, to be honest. It's just one of those things you had since like when you learn how to trade, and I just never use it again. Um, My entire strategy is just focus on breaking retest, supply and demand, trend line. It's really simple. I don't the imbalance and order blocking, blah 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 blah. So this traders they're like, oh, the imbalance here, price need to come here, and that's why I'm gonna take my entry. I'm not doing all that. You know what I mean? I just have my set of rules. Oh, you may wonder why I need the 50% on the fib. So this is the draw it up, the orange line. Why do I need the 50%? That is an institutional level. I use the 50% for that. So I'm gonna give an example of that. Mm, okay, you see how we have price coming down, up and like this. This is a previous high. Then after we have like three bullish consecutive candle that broke that previous high. And every candle needs to retest like 50%, right? And there's no retest of 50% of these three candles. So another term for that is like that gap in between is called a fair value gap. Someone may say it's an imbalance. Someone may just call it a gap. It's all the same, like, bro, it's all the same stuff. That's why I don't get like all hooked on to terminology and all that stuff, you know. So if you do fib from the very low, so if this had a wick, you're going to use the wick of this first blue bullish candle there, but there's no wick there, so you're going to do from the body to the body of that third candle. Well, it should be to the wick, but there's no wick there, so to the body there. You stretch this cross, right? The institutional level is that 50%, the fair value gap area, right? That's your entry. You put stop loss at the 100%, which is that black line here. And you need to normally trade it back to this high up here, right? To the next supply, back to the supply and demand. And as you can see, this is where you ever see traders, guys, when they're in a trade and it's going well, and they reverse on them, hit their stop, and they shoot up. Those type of traders. So I do know a little bit of everything because I do pay attention. I'm like, okay, why do you took that setup? So it helps me look at when I view my chart. I'm like, okay, I need better confluence than that. You know what I mean? But I'm just showing you guys an example, right? So this is US 30, for example. So granted, not bad though if you have just even closed out. You took partials, put stop or break even, right? Like there. All right, that's a 1 to 2.39. That's solid. You know what I'm saying? I'm a simple 1 to 2 guy, you know, but solid. But once again, this is those moves that happen and then boom. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you use it. And that's why I have the 50%. So I'll use it as a little confluence thing. But I have, like, for example, I would never have a stop loss at the 100%, like right here. I just wouldn't, right? I take that trade. My stop got to be the low here. That's like, it's just little stuff like that, right? All that tight stop loss stuff it's complete garbage. Because why would I have a stop loss that low? Okay, because I would have zoomed out like any normal person and be like, okay, this is a low over here. The next high is here. Like in between there's highs and lows, of course, but the next swing peak is here. The next swing peak is here or low. The next one is here, right? Next one, price is here currently, right? And I'm looking at the imbalance over here, right? So you gotta understand, I'm not seeing the future yet, right? There's nothing there, so I'm just looking for an entry here, right? 50% was here, looking for entry. I'm not gonna make my stop loss right here. I just wouldn't do that. You see how small that is when you zoom it out? It's logical to put your stop loss a little bit or to the previous low, right? Keep in mind, none of this happened yet, right? I'm just looking at it. So this is where I mean what I said. I just don't follow too much into that, but I use it as a confluence. So my stop loss would be where? Yeah, actually below it too. It would be like right here. That's my stop loss, being honest, right? Then yes, I'm now because I'm trading 1 to 2. The 1 to 1 is here, so I would have hit 1 to 1 regardless, and my stop loss would have been at break even. So it'll probably hit my 1-to-1, hit break even, right? I still follow my rules regardless. But let's say it hit my break even, I see something else, and I'm like, let me jump back in. I'm gonna jump back, whatever the case may be. My 1 to 2 is right here, that high, which is based on the strategy. The high is the target anyway. But my stop loss would have been here, 1 to 2 RR. You know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, if I think the market is bullish, right, I can use this fib once again to low, high to low instead of the institutional level, right? And it shows me my next target area is where -27, negative. Look at that. So I don't. I would use. I can use the institutional, the 50% for those entries or whatever. But at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna put my stop loss tight. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna zoom out and look at the bigger picture because you will win better. The market is not like a straight line all the time like this. It's sometimes it's noise. It's noise, and then you get the move, and that's okay. It's part of training. You know what I'm saying? So, how to set the volume? I don't trade volume, so I actually can't even tell you that. And being honest with you, I'm not gonna. I don't use volume profile and stuff like that. Um, I can't even tell you how to draw that up. To be honest, I don't. Like I said, I'm not too much into that type of stuff. Volume, like the institutional stuff, and I keep it very simple and profitable consistently. I'm not gonna win every trade, but I'm profitable. I can say that proudly. You know, but the volume indicator, I truly don't use it or know how to use it, and I'm not gonna pretend like I do and lie to you guys. Okay. I never used the volume indicator in my life. Um, it looks interesting, but like I said, never used it. So that's something you would have to look up. Probably YouTube somebody else that used volume indicator, but I never used it in my life. I have no clue how to use it, so I'm not gonna pretend and teach you something I don't know. Um, we can see our price keep talk again. You see our price keep rejecting off this area, right? So I talked about this previously. Like, imagine this is a ceiling, right? So we call this resistance. The floor is your support. It supports your ground, for you to stand on, right? The ceiling is your resistance. So this is a ceiling. So it's called a resistance. When price go above it, it's now become a support, right? That becomes the floor. Support and resistance one and the same, right? Right. It's the same thing, just based on where price is at. So currently, it's a resistance. So it's a ceiling. Price keep rejecting from it for whatever reason, right? I'm not gonna go in details like, oh, but there's more sellers and blah 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 blah. Price is rejected from that area. That's keeping it simple, right? Now, price breakthrough that. Imagine you're Hulk, right? And you're angry, and you're on the floor, right? It's the support, because this was a previous resistance here, and it can now become a support, right? A floor, right? And or also this, could be just the floor, right? It depends on how price land. And you jump, make a big jump, and you broke through it. Your head, your body, you're on the second floor. You was on the first floor. Now this is the second floor, right? So that is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for price to break through that ceiling so we could be on the second floor and level up and go up even further. Okay? So, and that's important. We see price keep rejecting off this area. Our only mindset should be, okay, I'm waiting until price break and close above this area. Like the candle body close above it. This is a wick. Price went above it, but it closed below it, right? We need the body of the candle to close above it, right? At that point, you can look for an entry, right? You can say, okay, I'm gonna enter a little bit more. I'm gonna add more entries in. Cause that's another 1-to-1 I could have here, another, something like that, right? This is also how you can stack. So, for example, you know, yeah. So this was a support. Price came there, right? Jumped off that support, broke this little resistance, a ceiling here. Body closed above it. We entered, and the market shot up. So we're kind of waiting for the same thing over here. Okay, normally I close, I end this at 11, guys. Oh, I should actually text my barber to bring my son in. 1 second. Where's his number? Where's his number? Where's his number? Where's his number? Okay. Let me 30 should be good. So I'm probably gonna end this like 10:45. But obviously, if you're not in my signal chat, I put in the link in the description of this video, so you can click on it, join the signal chat. I'll update. If you don't, price is at TP1. If you're like, man, I don't want to hold, you can secure your profits. Nice 1-to-1 RR. You risk 500, you can profit 500. You know what I mean? It's good 1-to-1 RR. Um, you want to take partials? Do that. Keep your stop at break even. Right? It's all up to you. But I'll update the trade once it play out. If by 10:45 nothing happened, I have a alert for GU. So if it break up there, I'm already looking at it. Gold, we kind of missed that. And gold is my baby. As you know, this is the number one thing. Um, I probably made the most money of gold in my entire trading life. Like gold is it's amazing, man. Um, and you don't need a big move. Like you hit 100 pips, like in literally like 3 minutes to a minute to three. And that's solid. I flip accounts trading gold from like $30 to thousands. Gold is really that pair. Again, delete that one, no confusion. So any more questions before I go? I'm gonna go in like 4 minutes or so, 3 minutes. I'll keep you guys updated with this trade in the signal chat. I just gotta eat something, hit the showers, get ready to take my son to the barber. Gotta get my boy clean for his birthday tomorrow. Mm, question: do you usually trade live in Discord or just YouTube? I trade live on YouTube. Um, yeah, if I don't do anything, yeah, just patience. But I don't even use Discord. I never used Discord once in my life. Oh my god, I feel so old. I haven't used Discord ever. I don't think I ever even download the app. I only use Telegram. Um, but yeah, I only trade live on YouTube. So once again, next week I'll be trading live from on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yeah, I'll look into Discord. Like I said, I never use it, but next week I'm trading live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the following Sunday, not this Sunday coming, the following, I'll be starting the educational part, right? And just like maybe just an hour, just based on quick or 30 minutes education, um, beginner friendly for everyone, and then to advance. We're going to start from beginner level to advance. Um, go into Confluence where now everyone can now go into charts for themselves and look at the chart and know exactly what to do. Yeah. Yeah, I'm maybe I look into I don't know what this like I think Discord is like Telegram, I believe, but I just never used it. I never joined a Discord chat. I don't It's probably better than Telegram. I have no idea, to be honest. Um yeah, most definitely. And if you guys don't, if you guys haven't been where is it? I'm gonna put this here as well. Should have added this earlier. Um, Let me add this. I should have added this earlier. Let me put this in the chat. Um, this if you guys don't have a solid broker, I'm telling you, this broker is Liquid Broker is regulated, which is important, right? Compared to an unregulated regulated broker. So if you guys don't have any if you don't have a trustworthy broker, I do recommend switching over to them. If you're outside the US, they use MT5 as well. But if you're in the US, there's no MT5. They have their own platform. I do review on the platform how to use it. It's very simple, but Liquid Broker is solid, guys. No BS, no slippage nonsense, no garbage, no manipulation, tight spreads. Like I said, it's regulated, so they can do they can do anything they want. Unlike these unregulated brokers. Um, and when you enter the market, it's fast. You get a good entry. So I do recommend using them, guys. It's the only broker I truly recommend. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Now you're able to see the higher highs and lows. That's good. That's good. That's good. It's really good. All right, y'all. Have a good one. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Instagram or, you know, wait till the next live session. Have a good one, y'all. Oh, don't tell me gold is about to now shoot off as soon as it's about to get off. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me gold is about to start shooting up as soon as I'm about to get off. Hold on for a second. I'll keep you guys updated though. I gotta get some to eat. Have a good one, y'all.